Alright, first full week of the new year. We got lots of sales to go over, and including, if you can see here on the bottom and what will be in the title, I got my first neutral feedback, which we'll get into when we get to that sale, to the sale that led to the neutral feedback. So, starting off, Kansas City, Missouri Fire Department, $4.99 on that. This is one of the ones that had that had like hot glue in the back of them. There was one of the lots that I bought. Pretty much all of them were like this, where it has like the hot glue on the back. And also a very boring patch, just KCFD, very boring. Next is a Detroit Police Evidence Technician, $4.99 on that one. This is part of that huge lot of mostly California stuff where there's lots of doubles. Like I had 3 of these. There was lots of doubles, triples, just stacks of them. I probably only ever went through like half the lot that this came in. There's like 1 or 2 other ones of these. Nothing really. It's not really anything special. Next, we have the Centralite on-off light control module. This you plug this into like a power strip, and then you can press this little button, and it's it's on-off light control. Why this exists, I don't really understand. With how you plug it in to like an outlet or power strip or whatever, and then you press the button and it turns it on and off. I don't quite understand it. But anyway, I sold it for $24.95 plus $6 shipping, and this is something I got out of the trash. Got out of a dumpster. Part of a huge lot of stuff that I got out that I found in the trash that week. It was in a box with something else in it, and I finally was going through going through that stuff that needs to be listed, and this was in there. Looked it up, and it's worth $25. Sold on December 9th. Oh, start time December 9th, which is not even right. Oh, yes. Yes, it is December 9th. It's January 9th. Oh my god. So it didn't take too long to sell. A couple weeks. Next is this Baltimore, Maryland Police. This sold on offer $4.49. This one's not in that great shape, as you can see. It's one of the crappier ones out of the many, many Baltimore ones I've had. Next is Pottstown, Pennsylvania, District 17 Wildfire Suppression, $8.99 on that one. Next, we have this FDNY R&T Emergency Crew Patch, sold for $7.99, and this is where I got the neutral feedback from. So you can see in the photos, it's a little harder to tell that it's on the smaller side, and that's literally what the neutral feedback was. That it was smaller than he thought. Overall, it was fine. It is fine. That's not my problem. If you really had a concern about the size, ask me. I've had people ask me, shoot me messages. Like once every couple months, I get that message of someone asking for the dimensions of it, and I usually do try to include, if it is like a smaller hat patch, in the title. I usually do try to disclose that. I don't always do. Sometimes, whether I'm just rushing through listings or. Usually that's what it is. I'm just rushing through trying to get things listed, so I don't put it in there. So, I'm saying I just got this probably like an hour ago, right before I finally decided to. I remembered I needed to film this video. So, I can always request a revision or send him a message, talk to him, to in theory get the neutral pulled. Really, even though anyone who goes through and reads this can see that it's nothing I did. It's the buyer's fault, and I have tons of other, positive feedback. So it means absolutely nothing. So that's that on my first neutral feedback, which I knew figured was gonna happen eventually. Neutral and negative, it's gonna probably happen eventually. You always, you do enough sales, you're gonna piss off someone, and they're gonna hit you with the negative feedback. Next, these, 4 or 5 things all sold to the same buyer. First, this Garden City New York Fire Auxiliary, $9.99. That sold. That sold separately, and then these 4 things or 3 things, I think it was just the 3, sold together. Next, we have this FDNY Fire Patrol 2, $5.99 on that one. This FDNY Engine 15, $4.99 on that one. And this Saucet New York, $5.99. Those all four sold together to the same buyer. And then this Clinton, Mississippi Fire at $5.99. Didn't sell to that buyer. That was a different buyer. Next is the City of Miami Rescue Fire Rescue, $5.99 on that one. Next we have this Apple headphones, $14.99 free ship on that one. This again was something I found in the trash. As you can see, it's just like out of the little cardboard slip for it. That's for it, but they were brand new. And these are worth about $15. Sold like within a day. I want to say it was within a day. And this wasn't from that other lot of stuff. This was from a different time where I found a couple other things. Like there was 4 PS4 games in there in this particular time period of when this was found. There's the PS4 games, which I still have to get to, that I'm also kind of half just saving, kind of to see if I get any other video game stuff at any other point. And we'll kind of just put it together maybe with something else. Although I probably will end up just listing them as is. And there's a couple other things too that still need to be listed that I found at the same time period as when I found these. And I did go through and looked up everything that I've sold out of the trash over the last like 2 years. I've made like just over $600 of just pure trash. And there's some other stuff too that I went through and I was listing that was also from the trash as well. And there's still a couple things that need to be listed for another couple $100 of free money. Next we have this New York State EMT, $5.99 on that one. Next is PSP 3001. This was something that was our dad's that he used to play back in the day. It just sat around for it's been sitting around for a couple years now. When he was going through cleaning out the drawer that had this in it, he threw it out. And of course I grabbed it out of the trash, figuring it's probably worth something. And it is. Parts to repair, worth $25. No battery in it. Although, last I knew, it does work. It just needs a new battery in it, but I'm not entirely sure. So, I did get a question about what was damaged, and then if the UMD drive worked. And I have no idea what is damaged on it. As far as I know, nothing was damaged. And the UMD drive, as far as I know, works. So, it sold to a different guy within like an hour later. So, $25 for, again, something that was of no cost to me. Next we have this FDNY 9/11 Memorial Patch, one of the heart ones. I had 2 of them, sold the other one a while back. Finally sold the other one, $5.99. Had quite a bit of interest on it. Just not a lot of actual buyers. Next we have this Teresa, New York, Jefferson County Fire Department. Sold out on offer $5.39 to a very repeat buyer of mine. Downstate. Next is this Berry College Police Patch. Sold for $5.39 out on offer as well. Next is this U.S. Forest Service Department of Agriculture. $12.99 on this one. These always sell pretty quickly. The one or two other times I've had these are definitely something you want to look out for. These always go for $15. So those are something to look out for. Next, we have this Marietta, Georgia, sold out on offer. I'm going to put quotes around sold for $3.59. Buyer has not paid yet. Kind of not expecting them to pay at this point. I'm going to have to pay attention to make sure that I cancel this order in the next couple days. Cancel and block and relist it. It's been quite a bit since I've had someone do the accept an offer and not pay. But usually after like a day or two, if they don't pay for it after you send out an invoice, they're not going to pay. And then as soon as I can cancel the order, I always cancel it. And now I will block them as well. I didn't always do that in the beginning, but now I do. Next we have this New Jersey Department of Health EMT 399. This was old stock that I relisted. I don't know where this came from. I was scrolling through some of the stuff that I know was old stock in my spreadsheet, and I don't know what lot this came out of. Not a big deal, but it is good that it's old stock that I relisted and has now sold. And these New Jersey EMT ones are always $3.99ers. They're not something to seek out. Next we have this Amherst, New Hampshire police for $4.99, and this actually went to Amherst, New York, which is local here, which was interesting. I kind of know the area of where this was. The neighborhood, it's right by the 290 in Millersport, in the little neighborhood that's over there. So that was interesting to have that go local. Next, this is Worcester, Massachusetts EMS. I have two of them. Sold the one right away at $7.99. And I'm still waiting for that buyer to come. Waiting for a buyer for the other one. Next, we have the Hampton, Virginia Police. $5.99 on this one. This was something that I got in a small lot of a couple New York ones. And in the listing, the seller said they were all New York ones. When I listed it under New York, I had someone shoot me a message, know that it was for Virginia, so I changed it, and it's just been sitting, and it just now sold. But I also, ironically, just got another one in a lot I picked up not that long ago. Next, we have this little lot of 6 NASA and space patches, sold for $11.99 plus $4.50 shipping. And when I went to ship this morning, man, was it expensive. It was almost $4 for 3 ounces at the 3-ounce rate. But I have noticed the post office rates change every hour, I swear. And depending on what time of day it is when you do it, there'll be something different. So this is just nothing really. It was in one of the bigger lots that I had that had a little bit of other miscellaneous patches in it. It was one of the ones that had like police, fire, and just other patches in it. And there was these couple of NASA/space ones that I put together. And then there was another, I want to say there was another grouping out of there as well that I put together. Oh, it was railroad stuff, but I don't think I've actually listed it. It was some railroad stuff. And then there was just other patches that were in there that are in for a big lot that I'll do at some point. When I get around to it, I will actually go through and put all the just generic patch stuff together and auction it off or whatever just to get rid of it. Next we have this Illinois Fire and Flag, is what I called it. Similar to like the Chicago style. How they have the, Chicago like city logo on it and the, flag on it. This one's just for the state of Illinois. I got 2 of them. I had 2 of them sold. I've sold them both now. $5.99 on that one. Next we have another private listing for Howard over in Great Britain. He sent me a message saying he wanted this Randall Eastern ambulance, and then there was a Cobb ambulance as well that he wanted. So I put it together for him, one listing, which is normally what I do. We'll just pick one of the listings he sends, or the ones that he wants, and I'll just do it all in that one listing. And I'll put it, combine the price for him, turn on the international delivery, and put the international price for him. So $17.98 for those 2. I want to say this was $7.99 and the Cobb was $9.99. Next we have a little, again, this was old stock, FDNY little hat patch, $5.99 on that one. As you can see, I put hat patch in the title. I always try and do it just for that exact reason of, because I've done that before too, where I don't really pay attention, or it's like in the description and I'm not really paying attention, where it does end up being smaller than I thought it was. Yet I don't go complaining to the seller on that. Next we have this LA Leg Avenue Police. No idea what Leg Avenue is, if it's some division or what. But as you can see, this one's ruined. It's got freaking paint all over it. $4.99 on that one. I've had it quite a while, July 26th. Because it has paint on it. Generally, you can't even list the LAPD ones. Like, if you put LA Los Angeles Police in the title, it won't even let you list it. I know it was doing that for me for a while. It wouldn't even let me list. I couldn't even list it. But I've kind of found a loophole if I put like LAPD or just put Los Angeles patch on it. I don't put police on it, which is what I ended up doing on. I have 4 LAPD ones that I've needed to list. So next, we're gonna switch over to the other account. I want to show you this real quick. I got these auctions that are running, but I want to show you this one specifically. This Massachusetts Southern New England Railroad Police Gateway to the Lakes. Look this up and look under sold comps. There's one that just sold for $51. There was another sold one that I want to say was like $75. And then there's another one that sold like when it first was listed for 140 something. 140. It was pretty expensive. Or actually, well, we'll look it up. I have a notification. Let's see. I'm trying to think of how to do this without clicking on the listing and showing you the buyer information. Oops, which I just did right there. So anyways, you look it up. See, there's mine, 36 bucks at the moment. But go to the solds on this, 51, 180. Oh, there's just 2 comps. So, and I seen this one first, which is why I knew I needed to put it to auction, and that's why I started mine off at $15 because I knew it was gonna have quite the action on it. Anyways, switching over to the sales from this account. Another Pennsylvania State Trooper one that I got, $5.99 on that one. This Hopkinton, Massachusetts Police, sold out on offer, $7.19. This Harris County, Texas, Emergency Communications, sold out on offer as well, $4.49. Next is this Highlands County, Sheriff Deputy, Sheriff's Office, whatever, $5.99 on this one, and this was one where the buyer sent me a message wanting to know what the dimensions were on it, and I responded with what they were, and they bought it. Definitely is annoying. It's gonna be a nuisance, annoying, and I'm gonna keep bringing it up in this video and won't mention it again afterwards. Next is this Bend, Oregon, Police. This is a subdued version, $7.99 on that one. The subdued ones are worth a little more for Bend than the normal ones are. New Jersey State Park Police Officer, $7.99 on that one. This one sold right away. Next is an NYPD Strategic Response Group, $7.99 on this one, and this one actually is going to Spain. The guy shot me a message asking what it would cost to send it to Spain, and I tell everyone international $1.50 because that's what it will cost. Or it cost me a little less than that. The international stamp itself is $1.10, or is it $1.40? Actually, I need to double check. Oh, it's $1.40. That's why I do $1.50. I thought my post-it note said 110 right here. So the international stamp cost $1.40. I figured like another 10 cent and other just costs, the envelope and all that. The envelope, the return label, I have it all figured out and have it on a little post-it note next to my desk, so I always remember. And then actually there was an auction. No, that was on the other account where a guy messaged me as well what it would cost to send to Spain. It was a different guy, I'm pretty sure, if I remember right. And I told him, I also told him $1.50 as well. And then I got the cha-ching, and so I put in a bid. Once I told him I will send it to Spain. Pretty much internationally, if someone sends me a message about it, I will change the listing form and send it, and I'll do it internationally. Otherwise, I just don't have it turned on. Next we have a Charlotte Mecklenburg Police, sold out on offer, $7.19. The Charlotte Mecklenburg ones always go quick. I'm looking to acquire their homicide one from my collection. I already have one of the Charlotte Mecklenburg, just the regular one. That's another one of the things I'm collecting is not just local New York stuff here in Western New York. I'm also doing different homicides where I have the regular police patch and then I have the homicide one right next to it. So eventually I will acquire one for my collection. Next we have the St. Cloud, Florida police subdued. $9.99 on this one. This was another one. There was a couple ones that I seen someone else had already listed them. They were going for auction. They had a bit of action on them, and I was waiting to see how those auctions ended. And this one sold. This St. Cloud ended about here. I want to say maybe a couple bucks more, so I just put it for $9.99, and it sold right away. Next is this Platte County, Wyoming Sheriff's Office, $6.99 on that one. Next is the Rhode Island State Police, $4.99 on that one. Next is this Pembina Tribal Nation. This was again one I seen that was on auction. Didn't really go anywhere. So I just listed mine at $5.99. Sold it out on offer $5.39. And that's that with that one. Next is the New York State Police. $6.99 on that one. This was one of two that was in the lot. This was the nice new one, and there was a bit of a used one in there as well. This next one is the South Solano County, California Regional Emergency Services SWAT, subdued as well. This one I had put for auction, as you can see, at $6.99. The guy sent me a message, would you buy it now? I figured, sure, why not? Guaranteed sell right away. So I put it, went in, changed it, put it for $11.99. And he bought it right away. And then sent me a message asking if I had any other, like, California SWAT or subdued patches. And I took a look. I don't have anything else. I did also refer him to the other store if there was anything over there he wanted to, or to check that one out to see if there's anything else he wanted. And I don't think there was, because he didn't buy anything else. So I could have probably put this for like $14.99. He would have bought it, because he definitely wanted this right away. Next is this McDaniel College Campus Police, $9.99 on this one. I had quite a bit of interest on this one as well, and then took a bit for someone to actually buy it. I had one guy send me a message of what it would cost if I want, or for tracking, if he wanted it with tracking. And I went to go change the listing to see if, he would take it right away from that. I couldn't, and eBay was not letting me change the listing. I think with being this newer account, it doesn't like me changing anything in the listing or some nonsense on eBay's end that's quite annoying. Where I can't go in and change the listing. Next is the Washington State Patrol, $6.99 on that one. And actually thinking about it, one of the auction ones, I think, that is a problem that I'm going to have is it wouldn't let me change it to international shipping, so I may have to see what I can do after the auction ends, or if I have to relist it. Next we have this Decatur, Illinois ERT team, $9.99 on that one. And then the last thing we have is this Upton, Massachusetts Police, $8.99 on that one. And that is it for and that's it for the first full week of 2023. No inventory pickups other than from last week. There was one auction of like 180 fire patches that I was watching that I didn't realize what time it was ending. So when I woke up this morning, I realized I had missed out on the auction. It already ended. And it only went for like 200, on a low 200s. I definitely would have paid more for it and probably would have won. I would have went up to like 250, 300 almost on that one, which is unfortunate. I was kind of banking on getting that because there's not a lot of big lots that come up for good prices. There is a police lot that I got from Canada that's on its way here. That'll take a couple weeks. It's got to go through customs. Other than that, there's no inventory that I can think of that I need to show you. So that is going to end it for this week. We will see you next week for the second full week of eBay sales.